Right, folk, welcome back to another video beer review. Today we've got a beer coming out of St. Austell, and it is their tribute. Not just any tribute, it is extra special tribute, a limited edition pale ale coming in at a very sessionable 7.4% ABV. So I didn't see this last year, but apparently they did release it. And this one seems to be the one available in Waitrose, as opposed to like the Old Master Hen. At least in my local Waitrose, I have seen that Old Master Hen is available in some Waitrose, but just not in the local one, for now at least. So yeah, looks nice. I think the whole, I like the box and everything like that, but it does feel a little bit kind of cheaper, the cardboard, than what you get when you get the vintage ale. I do have a vintage ale, Fuller's vintage ale as well. So let's read the back of this and see if it's any different on the bottle as well. This year's extra special tribute marks the third release. I've been doing it 3 times in our annual limited edition tribute series. We've crafted a strong, rich and fruity beer with an earthy, piney bitterness, celebrating classic British hops, Challenger, Fuggles and Goldings, which we've proudly used for 50 years in Hicks and 25 years in Gem. Trib. Oh, it's an Austell. Bloody hell. 50 years old. Jesus. Well, more than that. Which we probably used for 50 years in the yellow. There we go. But this bottle conditioned beer, ooh, fuck's sake. Bottle condition, you put it in the supermarket. I know it's, Fuller's can nail it, but we'll see what this is like. Will continue to evolve over time with warming fruitcake flavours maturing into sophisticated notes of Madeira and sherry. Pardon me. George Young is the head brewer. Ingredients are water, malted barley, rye, hops, and yeast. Bottle conditioned beer. Pour carefully. I don't like bottle conditioned beer, purely because 9 times out of 10 it's really hard to actually look after. You know what? So they got really flimsy packaging, really flimsy cardboard on the side and the front. On the back, it's just a little bit harder, and it does seem to be kind of double layered on the top. So I'm going to absolutely butcher this getting this out. Oh no, it wasn't too bad. So so it's basically they folded it back on itself to keep the bottle in a upright position. Right, we got there. That is the bottle. There we go. Looks nice. Looks like a standard St. Austell bottle, really. 7.4%, as it says. Bottle number 6350 out of 7,400. So it's not like a massive batch. It's like a 20 barrel batch, something like that. I tend to get, give or take, 10,200 bottles off a batch of beer. Give or take 10,200 bottles. Maybe a little under that. So, is it like a 20 barrel? I can't remember what sort of size that'd be. It's too late in the day. I've been at work for 14 hours. So yeah, this year's extra special tribute marks the third release. It's just the same as what it said before. So yeah, best before September 2030. So they're only putting 5 years. They're only putting 5 years on the best before, as opposed to like crazy ones you get from Fuller's, sometimes like 10 years or more. I want something hearty. I want it to be hearty and fresh and fruity and malty. Bloody freezing. I put this jumper on as soon as I got in because I left my jacket, my work jacket, here all day. So I've just been walking around the brewery in a t-shirt all day, like an idiot, like an absolute moron. I haven't had Trib for a while. I really should have it at some point again. It used to be one of my favourites in cans, but yeah, haven't had it on cast for a long time because I tend to rather go for something else. Let's leave the last little bit. Bottle conditioned, but my god, it's pouring bloody clear for a bottle conditioned beer. It's pouring very bloody clear for a bottle conditioned beer. Very clear for a bottle conditioned beer. All the way through that. And very little head on it. No, there is definitely some sediment though. There is some sediment in there, but it's not like a haze sediment like you typically get like in a film bridge, for example. It's just little bits. Nose is relatively fruity, malty fruitiness. There's a sweetness to it, a kind of marmalade-y sort of note. We'll dive in. Cheers. That is right up my Strauza. It's very malty. Toffee, caramel sort of notes. There's a bit of a little bit of a dead yeast taste. You know, like Marmite. There's a little bit of a Marmite-y sort of taste about it. But that could be a combination of the hops, the kind of more spicy sort of hops interacting with the kind of malty notes. Sometimes I get that sort of flavour. This will be sublime on cask. I just think where the Fuller's Vintage Ale has the upper hand is the Fuller's Vintage Ale's got way more body than this. This is just a bit like thin. And you know what it oddly reminds me of? And this is going to sound odd, but it's almost like a poor man's Old Roger. I used to love Old Roger, Marston's Old Roger, and you don't see that. Well, they don't brew anymore. I picked up a case right before the brewery shut down, before the brewery, went its way with Carlsberg and everything, and they stopped bottling that particular beer, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. This has notes of it, little things that are similar to it, and it's not trying to be the same beer either at all. It's a completely, I think, a relatively different style, because it is a pale ale, apparently. Pale ale. What pale ale's that colour? It's a strong non-pale ale. I'd say it's trying to go closer towards a strong ale, a classic strong ale. Is Trib normally that colour? I thought Trib's a bit lighter than that anyway, but it's fruity, kind of caramel maltiness. It's a winter warmer. That's exactly what it is. It's a proper winter warmer. But I don't know what, I can't remember what I paid for a bottle. I won't be picking another one up. Because I think you could get, you could have, I don't think it was cheap, is what I'm saying. I don't think it was cheap. I don't think it's worth the money, whatever it was, as opposed to buying, say, a Golden Pride. I think a Golden Pride is a better beer than this, and Golden Pride is not the beast it used to be, not as good as how it used to be. I can't really put the box together again. But I think Golden Pride's better than this. I'd probably go so far as to say maybe 1845, and I don't really enjoy 1845 either. This has got some slight kind of citrusy sort of notes about it beneath there, but there's so much malt in it that it kind of works against it. I'm not the biggest fan, I'm getting it down, mate. I'm get it down, you lid. I'm definitely getting it down because I want something hearty and warming and everything like that. So it does tick that box, but I think, in all honesty, you're probably best off going with standard Trib. And if you want a hearty, warming beer, just go and get a Golden Pride or something like that. I'm going to go and get a couple of bottles of Golden Pride tomorrow and remind myself of, that beer. And I need to get another bottle of the Vintage Ale as well, because I want to do a vertical next year or year after. But yeah, it's enjoyable enough. I will get it down with my lad. And yeah, it's just there have been better. There are better strong ales out there, and I think you're paying a lot of money for a box, a fancy box. That's not even that fancy. A one-off bottle of beer a year, and it's not that great, like I say, compared to maybe vintage ale. Let's see. I'll see how the evening goes. I might have vintage ale in a bit. We'll see how things go. Anyway, see you next one. Cheers. You take care. Goodbye.